create groups here. You can actually invite people that aren't even in your community to communicate with you here. But what's really interesting about this is that I don't want to create a social media outlet that says I'm having sausages for tea. What I really want is to create a social media that says I just ate sausages for my tea that were bought with 50 other people in my community. And do you know what? They were the best sausages I ever tasted because we sourced them from a local supplier. We went to them as a community. We community bought something that we wouldn't ever normally do. The supplier loved it because they were able to work with us. Their costs reduced because they had 50 clients at the same time. They were delivered to my door, would you believe? Actually, in the end, with a lots of other produce that was maybe organic or locally produced. And you're getting the drift of what I'm saying is that community buying can literally do anything. It can even lasso and harness social media to actually do what it's supposed to do. Although I've got to say, the pictures I posted yesterday on Facebook of my mother and her 3 great-grandchildren are spectacular. So it still does have a place. No sausages were needed in that picture. Okay, what about a place where everybody in your community can actually organise themselves, because that's a key word, their calendar, they can share it, everybody knows what's going on. If there's an event, you can build to it. What about somebody's come up with an idea? What a cracking idea. An idea space. You can actually put an idea out and people can judge it and come back with it and build it and grow with it. But it's not just your community that would potentially see that. You could spread that across all sorts of other areas. What about a hub where you personally get to manage everything? So again, that might look like a bit social media, but the point really is from that page, you can organize all the things you've just seen as the organizer and actually achieve, I don't know, a community that actually works, a community that's not written on a piece of paper everywhere, a community that even if you're a company and run a pretty impressive organization, it's all linked together in one space. It could be as basic as you need. You want to just put some people's contact details in. It can be as detailed as you want to take it. You could have their entire activity history, pictures where it says notes and attachment of whatever you're going to deliver, or if you've got to get around a Rottweiler to do a delivery, or their orders, or their areas of interest, or any issues they've created. It's a communication hub that literally can record anything. Too much data? Don't worry about it. It can handle it. Your database can be very easily put into a very, very huge database. And then you've got other people that need to see it or you need to share it with. You can change that. You can change who's got the hierarchy without trying to stress that word too much. You've got the word employee in there. It can be community organizer. It doesn't make a difference. What I'm trying to explain to you is that it gives you an organizer control. It gives the community a space to meet. You can literally make your data dance. I showed this to one guy who has lots of different accounts that are managing energy. He spent 2 days inputting lots of information into a spreadsheet. He could have pressed the button and he would have known who was buying what energy with him. And he could have pressed a different button and he could have got it dancing in a different way. We've got something that is extraordinary, but I have to raise a question because, as you know already, I'm an IT folk. What even is this? I apologise for what I'm about to say. It's Mazitas, which I'm very proud of, but I apologise for the statement I'm about to read out of what exactly it is. A multifunctional, multi-dimensional, cloud-based ICT platform, creating a hub of extraordinary power. Yeah, I know a lot of you are still thinking, what is it again? Okay, let's put it in a different way. It's the kind of foundation that massive corporations like these spend millions on because of the power of it to coordinate and organize, but also because it's got amazing security. So yes, he ran his election campaign from it. That's why he's obviously smiling so much, because he liked it. Now, of course, we're using the very same foundation, but we've created something for community buying called Mazitas that is attached to it and changes the potential of it. How is this even possible? It's been an interesting journey. This is a meeting place after all, okay? So remember that. Everybody who's there is there for a shared reason, so the idea of belonging, and it's being created because we've collaborated and collaborated and collaborated. And at the end of the day, a community buying venture in any way, shape, or form is all about collaboration. Okay, so what exactly is it? It's a meeting place for a community of communities. Now, let's just say that your community does get organised and it looks as gorgeous and colourful as that. And then you have a eureka moment in your community and everybody says, yes, Not only do we come together to dig our garden, we would like to buy stuff together. Okay, brilliant. So you then become part of a community of communities centered around, interesting enough, the planet. But it might just be your locale, it might just be your county that these people are in. But they're still a community of communities, and they grow and they grow and they become part of something else. So your community is now part of a community of communities called Mazitas. Now, I didn't specifically choose this shape other than the reason that I need to, but it becomes pretty big. It's not specifically hierarchical, although of course, if you're the organizer, you're leading it. What's really interesting is, though, it leads me to a very, very important concept, which I covered in the emails out, and that is the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. I'm going to go off piece for a second to explain the potential. So the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid was a book that was written somewhere in the year, I think 2004, something like that. And it was basically a way of understanding there's some massive markets around the world, particularly China and India at the time, who had huge populations of people who did not either have any money or earn much at all. And the idea was that through commerce, you could relieve poverty. Now, what that created was a phenomenon where an awful lot of corporations around the planet realized there was a massive amount of money to be made if you could get the right products to an extraordinarily large base of people at the bottom of the pyramid. Now, a pyramid looks kind of like this. And clearly, those who are at the top of it financially are extraordinarily wealthy. So it doesn't actually matter about them because we're not too concerned about them right at the moment. Look at the bottom two layers. The bottom two layers of the planet, with their Benjamin Franklin $100 bills in front of them, are about 5 billion people. So bring that back to your locale. We are literally the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. The community buying venture that can be created in a community is about bringing all levels together, no matter what. And because you've created that power, you can help them create huge savings, enhance their community, be involved in something that's very important, create security for the vulnerable. We are the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid, but we're not the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid that needs to be marketed to. We do that ourselves because we're a marketplace. In fact, you could coin it in a way that Mazitas is the marketplace of the community economy. You heard it here first. It's pretty obvious, really, isn't it? Communities are an extraordinary economy. I do apologise. So think about all those products that we group bought that I listed before. We could go back to those slides and go through them. But think of anything that you buy, anything that you could buy as a group, and think of anything that you are sat there going, okay, I would like to market that. Now, you might well be asking, I am part of a group and I would like to market to my group anyway. Yeah, you can do that here. All right, now, this is just a ridiculously small spread of products. But the point really is, if you go back to what I've just explained in terms of a community to come together and get organized in Mazitas, because it's all of those things. It's a meeting place of information and it's accessible clearly via the internet and online, which means an awful lot of people need help to do that, but then the community can do that. What's accessible at the same time is the marketplace. So any group bought product can be put in front of any of the groups